Good morning, world! Good morning, world! It's me here with my channel. Welcome back to another episode. And today we have a very exciting one for you. We are going to be talking about the broken window. Now, if you have followed us for some time now, you may remember that this is actually not our first time discussing this particular topic. About 2 years ago, we made a video called What You Should Know About Double Glazed Windows, in which we discussed all the benefits of double glazed windows, as well as what to look out for when buying them. It was a pretty popular video and got a lot of views, and we have been meaning to make an update video for quite some time now. So it's definitely about time we did. So this video is going to be more focused around misted up double glazed units. And so if you haven't already seen our previous video, then we highly recommend you check that one out as well, because it will give you a better idea of what makes a good double glazed unit and what you should be looking out for before you buy your window. So why do we call this phenomenon a broken window? Well, I'm sure many of you have noticed that over time, condensation or moisture starts to appear in between the panes of glass in a double glazed unit. Now, there is nothing inherently wrong with this because condensation can form on a cold surface just like it does on the inside of your windows. However, the issue arises when the condensation gets trapped inside the double glazed unit and cannot escape. This is where things start to get a little bit more serious. Now, the most important thing to note here is that if you see condensation appearing on the inside of the glass pane, then this is perfectly normal. In fact, this is exactly what we want to happen. The reason for this is because if the air inside the sealed unit is moist, then the heat from inside your home will warm the inner pane and cause the moisture to turn from a gas into a liquid. On the other hand, if the air inside the sealed unit is dry, then the heat from inside your home will warm the inner pane and cause any moisture in the air to condense on it. In both scenarios, the end result is the same, but for different reasons. So as long as the condensation is on the inside of the sealed unit, then there is no need to worry. However, if the condensation is trapped inside the sealed unit and you can see it in between the panes of glass, then this is something that we need to pay attention to. Now, you might be wondering, how does the moisture get trapped inside the sealed unit in the first place? Well, as we mentioned earlier, a good quality double glazed unit will have a very high performance seal around the edges of the glass. However, over time, this seal can deteriorate for a number of reasons. One of the most common causes is exposure to ultraviolet light from the sun, which can cause the seal to become brittle and crack. Another cause could be moisture getting into the seal itself, which can break down the adhesive and cause it to fail. Finally, the most likely cause is simply movement in the building over time, which can put stress on the seal and eventually cause it to fail. Whatever the cause may be, the end result is the same. Over time, the seal will fail and allow moisture to enter into the sealed unit. Now, once the moisture has entered into the sealed unit, it is very difficult to remove. In fact, it is virtually impossible. The only way to remove it would be to replace the entire sealed unit. But unfortunately, by the time you notice that there is moisture trapped inside the sealed unit, it is usually too late. The moisture has had plenty of time to condense on the colder inner pane and will be visible as mist. Now, at this point, you might be thinking to yourself, well, if it's just cosmetic, then why bother replacing the window? Well, although it may be just cosmetic in some cases, there are also instances where the trapped moisture could cause more serious problems. For example, if the trapped moisture freezes, then it could expand and cause the sealed unit to fail completely. Additionally, the trapped moisture could provide the perfect environment for mold and mildew to grow, which could pose a health risk to anyone in the property. Now, if you are lucky enough to catch the problem early before the moisture has had a chance to freeze or cause any structural damage, then it may be possible to simply remove the condensation from the inside of the inner pane. However, this is not always possible, especially if the condensation has been there for some time. If this is the case, then the only real solution is to replace the entire sealed unit. Now, depending on the severity of the misting, it may be possible to simply remove the condensation from the inside of the inner pane. However, this is not always possible, especially if the condensation has been there for some time. If this is the case, then the only real solution is to replace the entire sealed unit. Unfortunately, there is not much you can do to prevent a double-glazed unit from misting up over time. The only real prevention is to ensure that the unit is installed correctly in the first place. This means that the frame of the window should be in good condition and the unit should be properly sealed. If this is done correctly, then the unit should last for many years without any problems. However, if you do find that your double-glazed unit is starting to mist up, then the best thing to do is to contact a local glazier to get it replaced. Although it can be tempting to try and do this yourself, it is not recommended. Replacing a double-glazed unit is not an easy job and requires specialist equipment. If it is not done correctly, then it is likely that the new unit will fail prematurely. If you want to know more about double glazing, or if you want to learn more about our services, then please don't hesitate to contact us. You can reach us by phone, email, or through our website. We are always happy to help in any way that we can. We hope that you enjoyed this video, and we hope that it has helped you to understand a little bit more about the broken window. If you want to see more videos like this, then please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week, and we would love for you to be a part of it. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.